Hi, I'm the Scrub, and you're here for one reason. Of course. Right when we're on the doorstep of the Archbishop, the Garleans show up. Fantastic. More bodies in the way of my end goal. Just need to finish off my morning coffee first. Oh, that's good stuff. If everyone could just line up, possibly in groups of 3 in a nice linear path, that'd be great. Time to learn about the Aetherochemical Research Facility. Simplified. Hold the opening 3 mobs and continue down the path to the left. Your path will be blocked by a rising chamber with 3 extra enemies. Kill everything. After everything has been killed, the chamber will sink back into the floor. Continue to the next area where there'll be another chamber that blocks your path. Watch out for the enhancement druid as it has a circular AoE tank buster. After those 3 enemies have been killed, 2 more chambers will rise up. Watch out for the claws as they can stun players for a few seconds. Kill everything and the chambers will lower, allowing you to continue. Kill the next pack of 4 enemies and the barrier will dissipate. First boss time. Bastard Blast is a tank buster. One party member will be stunned in place and given an electric charge at their feet called Judgment. All other party members will need to move away from this player as they will explode in a medium-sized circular AoE. Once you get the boss down below 80%, he will summon a Magitech turret at a random point at the edge of the arena. It will tether itself to one player. The turret will cast a straight line AoE through the tethered player, and the boss will move around the arena casting straight line AoEs through random party members. After a while, the turret will start casting self-destruct. If this cast finishes, it will deal high damage to the party. It's best to focus the turret down quickly. After the turret has been defeated, the boss will return to the center of the arena. The boss will repeat the previous mechanic at 50% health, but will summon 2 turrets instead of 1. One will tether itself to a party member again, and the other will start casting medium-sized point-blank AoEs below random players. Again, destroy the turrets quickly. After the second round of turrets, the boss will turn to a random party member and begin casting Magitech Spread. This is a large 270-degree conal AoE in the direction he is facing. Just move behind him to dodge into the safe zone. If you get hit by this, not only is it highly damaging, but it is also a large knockback. The boss will repeat mechanics until he is defeated. Head out of the boss arena and turn right to go to the next area. Grab the biomasses and continue up the path until you come to a node in the middle of the room. After you begin attacking the node, it will start casting room-wide electric AoEs. These don't hurt, but they are annoying. At this time, the node will spawn several extra mobs to join the fight. After you get the node down below 50%, it will spawn even more mobs into the fight, even if you haven't killed the previous ones. It can seem a bit chaotic, but don't worry about it. Just do your best to avoid all the AoEs, kill everything, and the barrier will drop. Head up to the next node. It is the same as the previous node. It will spawn enemies as you begin attacking it, and after you get it below 50%, it will spawn more enemies. Kill everything. Second boss time. Every time the boss casts the move Weighing of the Heart, it will change into something else. First up is the Cobra that will give the boss a damage up before performing a cleaving tank buster, so don't stand with the tank. It will then change back to its original form. When the boss is in its original form, it can breathe out an untelegraphed cone of poison which can be assumed off of anyone who gets hit by it. It can also cast Riddle of the Sphinx, which is a point-blank AoE below a random player. The boss will change into an Ananta warrior and cast Petrifaction. It wants you to have a staring contest with this red symbol that will appear. You will need to turn your character away from the boss. If you continue to look at the boss while this happens, you will turn to stone for 10 seconds and be unable to move your character. It will then target 2 random people in your party with untelegraphed AoEs called Circle of Flames. After this, it will turn back to normal. Then it will turn into the form of a machine. It will turn to the healer, bind them in place, and cast Ballistic Missile. The healer will have this circle around them with 2 spheres orbiting above the player's head. Only one other person needs to stack with the healer to solve this mechanic, as it is a 2-person stack marker. If there isn't exactly one other person in the circle with the healer, everyone who is in the circle when the mechanic finishes will be tossed into the air and damaged enough to be reduced to 1% health. Following this, the healer will be given a stack marker. Group up to share the damage. If you've done the previous mechanic incorrectly, it can result in a few deaths or even a wipe. The boss can also do a conal AoE directed at one person called Car. From here, the boss will repeat mechanics until it's defeated. Head through to the next area. When you arrive on the platform, interact with the lift terminal to begin descending. At about halfway down, the lights in the area will turn red. 2 drones and a dreadnought will appear on the lift with you. Kill them and the lift will continue descending. When it arrives at the bottom, head through to the next area. Make your way across the hexagonal platforms. New paths will be created as you get close to the end of the path. A Thaumaturge and a Conjurer will spawn in. They don't have much health because they don't have the job stones. Kill them and more platforms will appear. When you get close to the large green containers, they will open and 2 Shabti will appear. They will only perform narrow straight line AoEs aimed at random players. Kill these mobs to move on. Head onto the platform and wait for everyone in your party to be standing on the platform before interacting with the lift terminal. Once you do this, it will descend to the next path. 3 green containers will move and become part of your path. Before they open, you will have to deal with 2 Thaumaturges and a Conjurer. Kill them and the green containers will open and 3 Shabti will appear. Kill them and continue down the path. Head onto the next platform and again, wait for your party before interacting with the lift terminal. Descend to the next path and go through to the next area where it's final boss time. This fight has significantly changed since the release of patch 6.3. You will be fighting both bosses of La Habrea and Igiorum at the same time. Shadow Flare is a big room-wide AoE. Healers be ready with those regens. La Habrea will cast Fire Spear. This will summon 5 burning stars, 4 on the outside and 1 in the middle. They will all explode in medium-sized AoEs after a few seconds. To avoid these, just move towards the outside wall in between the burning stars and you should be okay. If you do get hit by this, it will give you a heavy-hitting 9-second unassumable dot tick. Igioran will move to the middle of the room and cast Grip of Night. This is a huge conal attack to almost half the room. Just get behind it to dodge it. If you get hit by this, it will give you a Vuln stack. Lahabrea will then cast Fire Spear again, but only summon 4 of the Burning Stars on the outside. He will then cast Esoteric Fusion, which will tether the Burning Stars in pairs, and they will start to be dragged in towards each other. When they touch, they will explode in an AoE that's much larger than you're anticipating, so you need to get on the outside wall between the Burning Stars where there isn't a tether. Igioran will cast Circle of Ice. This will spawn 4 Frozen Stars on the outside of the arena. These will perform donut AoEs after a few seconds, so make sure that you are right next to one or inside it to avoid the attack. And if you get hit by this, it will also give you the heavy-hitting 9-second dot tick. Following this, there'll be a straight line AoE stack marker called End of Days. Everyone just needs to group up to share the damage. Igioran will again cast Circle of Ice, spawning 4 Frozen Stars, but this time she will also cast Esoteric Fusion and will tether 2 of the stars together. These 2 stars will begin to move towards each other. You will want to be standing where the 2 stars will meet in the middle of the tether, as this will be the only safe spot in the arena. The donut AoE from the tethered stars will be considerably larger in size and will overlap the donut areas for the other 2 Frozen Stars. The bosses will repeat mechanics from here. If the health difference between the bosses becomes too uneven, the boss with the higher health pool will transfer some of its health to the other to keep both health pools as equal as possible. When you get both bosses down to 0.1% health, a cutscene will play. Once you come out of the cutscene, it's real final boss time. Shadow Flare is still a big room-wide AoE. Height of Chaos is a big tank buster, so for the love of Heidelin, don't stand with a tank. The boss will cast Dual Star, which combines the Fire Sphere, Circle of Ice, and Esoteric Fusion mechanics together at the same time. 4 Burning Stars and 2 Frozen Stars will appear in the arena and tether to each other. You will have to move to the safe spots depending on the pattern. If the Frozen Stars are further away from each other than the Burning Stars, then the Burning Stars are going to explode first. So you'll need to get to the outside wall where there isn't a tether, followed by immediately running inside when these AoEs go off to avoid the Frozen Star Donut AoE. If the Frozen Stars are closer to each other than the Burning Stars, then the Frozen Stars will create the Donut AoE first. After that goes off, you'll have to quickly run to the outside between the Burning Stars where there isn't a tether to avoid the large circular AoEs. You don't have a lot of time between these AoEs going off, so make sure you move quickly. Ascian Prime will then move to the middle of the arena and cast Universal Manipulation. This will give everyone in the party at least 4 debuffs. Everyone will get a bleeding dot tick. Don't worry about this one, it just needs a simple regen from the healer. The moment you get the debuffs, they will start ticking down. This can be a bit overwhelming at first, but don't worry, all these are telling you is how many seconds until each mechanic goes off. 12 seconds for Ancient Circle, 20 seconds for Dark Whispers, 29 seconds for Ancient Frost, and only 1 party member will get this debuff, and 36 seconds for Burning Chains. So after Universal Manipulation finishes casting, 12 seconds later will be when the first mechanic will resolve, which is Ancient Circle. Ancient Circle is a large donut AoE for each player. The easiest way to make sure that you don't hit anyone with your AoE is to group up in the center like it's a stack marker. 8 seconds later, Dark Whispers will create a point-blank AoE around every player. Just move to a safe spot away from everyone else and you're good. 9 seconds later, Ancient Frost will give 1 party member a stack marker. Group up to share the damage. And when the stack marker goes off, stay stacked up, because 7 seconds later, Burning Chains will tether people together. This is the same chain mechanic from the Vault. Once players have been chained in pairs, just move away from each other to break the chain. The chain will always require it to be stretched so it can break. If you're already far away from each other when the chain is attached, then it might not break and can cause quite a lot of damage or even kill you. Hence why we're going to stay stacked together so the chains are always small before we start running away. I recommend tanks run north, healers run south, and DPS run east and west. Everyone's chain will break no matter what. All of this happens over 36 seconds, and you might think there is a lot, but there really isn't. Firstly, you'll stack together, then slightly spread apart, then stack together again, then run away to break the chains. After this, the boss will cast Entropic Flame, which is a straight line AoE stack marker. Stack together to share the damage. After this, the boss will move to the northern point of the arena and cast Arcane Revelation. The boss will become untargetable and create this huge unmissable arcane sphere. Destroy the arcane sphere before this gauge gets to 100. If it reaches 100, you will wipe and start again. Shades of Igioram and Lahabrea will come into the fight and perform different mechanics for you to avoid. If they are close to each other on the same side of the sphere, they will perform the room-wide AoE Shadow Flare. If they are on the sides of the sphere just outside of melee range, they will perform straight line AoEs through the middle of the sphere with 2 random party members getting point-blank AoEs. And if they are on the far outside of the arena, they will perform a fan of ice AoEs with 2 random party members being targeted with point-blank AoEs. Once the arcane sphere has been defeated, Ascian Prime will perform its ultimate called Annihilation and return to the fight. From here, the boss will repeat mechanics until it's been defeated with 1 additional change. After the straight line AoE stack marker of Entropic Flame, everyone will have a small AoE appear underneath their feet called Ancient Eruption. If you're still stacked up from this, it doesn't take much to dodge out of the way of the small AoEs before they explode. Remember to use the limit break, and congratulations, you have beaten the Aetherochemical Research Facility. My name is The Scrub. Thank you for watching.